When you think of the term generosity, what do you think of?
I guess the first word that comes to mind is giving kind of out of your heart.
When you think of the term generosity, what comes to your mind?
Generosity?
Usually money, you know.
Well,
Yeah, and giving money,
Uh-huh.
at least for me.
yeah, openness to other people too.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Now, would you consider yourself to be a generous person?
I think I'm a generous person. I don't know that I am.
Uh-huh.
You know, if I was really honest. Yeah.
So you don't know that you are, but you want to think of yourself as being.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Who would not? Who would want to feel otherwise?
So now, what would you say that you do to be generous?
I mean, I think I'm generous with my friends. You know, and I'm not real tight with possessions. I give stuff like that away. I mean, I certainly don't sit down every month and for example,
Write out checks to charities,
no,
but
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, every year I mean to, and you know, at Christmas I'll give out extra money to the guys standing around at Safeway, and you know, I always like to give clothing donations and stuff like that to people who don't charge for it, like at Loaves and Fishes, where they actually do it, but I don't always do it. So
yeah.
I'll just be honest about that.
When you think of generosity, what comes to your mind?
Me, number one, yeah.
So you think of yourself as a generous person?
Yes, sir.
How so? What makes you think that?
Because I've been like that all my life.
Do you consider yourself to be a generous person?
I don't know. It's not for me to decide. I guess I don't think about that too much.
Would you like to be considered a generous person?
I guess it's nice in one sense. It'd be better than being considered a tightwad or a jerk or something.
Sure, yeah.
I would consider you a generous person.
Well, thank you.
So you would, why is that?
I don't know. The little things like, you know, when I was fixing up my house, like he understand what had me over for dinner when I didn't have a kitchen to cook, and just seeing priorities that he's made with like how he spends his money, and I would call it generous. So.
Cool. Do you consider yourself a generous person?
Kind of the same boat. I hope so.
That comes to mind when they think of the term generosity.
Well, giving, I guess.
Uh-huh. Do you consider yourself to be a generous person?
Yeah,
Maybe?
but I'm kind of late for it.
Okay, thank you. Now, do you consider yourself to be a generous person?
Not terribly.
Why's that?
Because I don't give as much as I could. I should be able to give everything I own, and it shouldn't bother, but it would.
Sure, yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm probably not real generous, but I'm generous, just not very.
Good. Any thoughts when you think of generosity?
The two of us, I'm the more generous one.
Absolutely.
Do you consider yourself to be generous?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a little too much sometimes.
How so?
Whenever I have a friend that's in need, I'm kind of bending over backwards to help them.
Cool. When you think of the term generosity, what comes to your mind?
How good it feels to see the smile on someone's face when you've given them something that you know they really need. It's just a really heartfelt feeling when you can offer any kind of healing to another person or anything that helps them to feel they can heal themselves.
Sure. Now, would you consider yourself to be a generous person?
I think I would, yes.
In what kinds of ways?
Generous of myself, not in physical things. I'm a massage therapist, so the nature of my work is very giving, and it makes me feel wonderful to know that I've helped someone with their pain. They can get up and move freer. I'd say, with my friends also, giving of myself when I possibly can, help them with errands when they need the help, or help them with cleaning, or when they're down, just give them a lift and invite them out.
When you think of the term generosity, what comes to your mind?
Being a good person, kind of going above and beyond as far as what's expected of us. Helping out, see somebody else that needs to be needed or needs the help. Just being a good human being, I guess.
Now, would you consider yourself to be a generous person?
Definitely.
In what kind of ways? I mean,
If I'm needed and I'm able to help in any shape or form, I'll do it.
Cool.
It's kind of my background, kind of how I was brought up. I have a social work degree, and from the Midwest, kind of, I have a little different set of morals and values than seem to exist out here. So.
So do you consider yourself to be a generous person?
Yeah. I believe so.
In what ways how do you express that?
Oh, I've given just about everything. I mean, I've lost everything, but still I keep continuing to give what I have. It don't bother me. It's just what I do. It's how I was raised.
That's cool.